All right, awesome. We're going to start laying on our backs today. So if you want to come down and have a little lie down, we won't be here too long, but just lay down on your backs. Give your knees a little hug into your chest. Maybe rock from side to side. And then place your feet flat on the floor so they're about mat distance apart, and let your knees knock together. Arms are down by your side, palms are facing up. Just allow the shoulders to open. Take a nice big deep inhale. And as you exhale, close down the eyes. And just focus inwards to the breath. And just take a few deep inhales and exhales just to sink down and just to relax, releasing that morning tension. And just do a quick scan starting at the top of the head and working down the body just to see how you're feeling and see if there's any areas that you might need to be aware of throughout the practice today. So if you've got any niggles or aches, pains, injuries, just to be aware of them and see how they feel before you start. Always listen to what your body tells you so that we can practice mindfully. And maybe that could be your theme of practice today. It is going to be for myself. I'm going to try and be mindful in each of my postures and just to be aware of how my body is feeling and whether I need to back out a little bit or take it deeper. But just to practice with care, with control. So increasing the length of the inhale, really drawing the breath into the chest. And then allowing the ribs to lower as you exhale. Feel the spine connecting with the mat. And then carry on with the inhalation. Start pushing the breath down a little bit deeper so it goes into the belly. You can really feel that connection with the earth, that mat underneath you. Good, a few more rounds of breath like this. Just think about what brought you to your mat this morning. And set yourself an intention, a focus for practice today. As I said, it could be to practice mindfully. Or any other thing, any other reason that works for you today. This next 40 minutes, time for yourself on your mat. Lovely, and then just start wiggling your fingers, maybe your toes as well. And then as you inhale, bring the knees into the chest and give yourself a hug. Squeeze the knees in nice and tight. Extend the legs up towards the ceiling and really push your heels up. So flex the feet, push your heels up towards the ceiling so you feel the stretch down the back of the hamstrings. And then ensure that all of your spine is flat to the mat. So push the belly button down so that the lower back is grounded as well. And then bend the knees so that they are level or parallel with the floor. Take the arms out into a crucifix position. Now if you glue your knees and your ankles together, flex your feet. Just going to drop the knees over to the right side. Hover them off the floor, inhale, bring them back to centre. And then hover them over to the left. So try and keep the knees and the ankles together. Bring them back to centre. Good. Back over to the other side. Just going one way and then the other. Good. Over to the left and centre. Take them over to the right. Let's hold them here this time. Allow them to go down to the floor and look in the opposite direction. So you can use your opposite hand to pull. You can pull the knees over. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, just twisting here. Try and keep both of your shoulder blades flat on the mat. Good, and then raise them back to centre, keeping the knees and the ankles together. And let's come over to the other side. Let them come down to the floor. So the knees want to be at least at the same height as the hips, or maybe a little bit higher to get that stretch. You can use your hand to pull them over a bit further, but keep the opposite shoulder grounded. Good, so we should be looking in the opposite direction to our knees. So we take the twist through the neck as well. Good, And then inhale, let's bring it back to center. Take hold behind the back of the thighs and start rocking and rolling forward and back. Do a couple of rocks and bring yourself up into seated position. So easy cross leg pose. So get into a nice comfortable position. Move the sitting flesh out of the way. Bring the hands onto the shoulders and just make some shoulder circles. So bringing the elbows forward and taking them back. And then change direction, so bring them the other way. Get some clicks out of the way. And then release to center. As you inhale, squeeze the shoulders up to the ears. And then drop and squeeze. And drop. And one more, squeeze them up. And drop them away. Take an inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. Pull the belly button in, stretch and extend the fingertips to the ceiling. Bring the left hand down, take the right arm up and over for the side body stretch. Now push your right sitting bone down into the floor, extend and reach over. Lovely, bring that hand down onto the knee, bring the other hand across onto the opposite knee, and then drop the head down and try and round the spine. Push the belly button all the way back. So get a stretch through the shoulder blades. So pull the belly button back, let the head go down and really round through the spine. And then carefully just release. Switch your legs over, so bring the other leg in front. Take an inhale, raise up nice and high. And then exhale, right hand down, left arm reaches up and over. Good. So extending, pushing the left sitting bone down, reaching those fingertips all the way over. You can come down onto your forearm if you wish, if we've got that space. Good. Stretch through the side body, bring your hand down onto your knee, cross the other one over onto the other side, and then bring the head down toward chin to chest, round the spine, pull the belly button back, and feel that stretch there. And then release into center. Awesome. All right, let's roll over the knees and come into our tabletop. So coming onto hands and knees, just check that the knees are hip distance and the hands are shoulder distance. Spread the fingers out nice and wide. Bring your big toes together to touch, push your bottom back. Take a child's pose, bring the forehead down towards the floor. Maybe you want to rock from side to side here. Give the head a bit of a shake, maybe roll the forehead on the mat. Maybe creep the fingertips a little bit further forward and then pull yourself forward. So look forward, pull forward, bring your hips towards your wrists to open up the chest towards the front edge of the mat. And then exhale, let's push it all the way back. So inhale, pull it forward, hips towards wrists, open the chest. Exhale, take it back. Keep the core engaged as you do this. So come forward. Drop the hips, open the chest. Just keep the core engaged here to protect the lower back. Tuck the toes under. We might want to come back to a tabletop or just lift straight up and back into your downward facing dog. And then if you want to pedal the legs out, we can bend one leg, then the other. Just alternating heels, pushing down towards the mat. And then yes and no the head to release any neck tension. Make sure you have space around the shoulders and ear area. And then turn your tailbone up towards the sky as the heels go down. So it's the first down dog of the day for most of us. It might feel a little bit creaky, this one. So just go with it. Just breathe into any areas that feel tight. The back of my legs are super tight today. From sitting down all day yesterday. So just be aware if you've got any tight areas. Good. All right, look between your hands. Let's step the right foot all the way to the top of the mat. So big step, just sink the hips down. Feel the stretch through the hip flexor here, and then bring the left foot forward as well. So we're coming into ragdoll. Grab onto opposite elbows or interlace the hands, place them onto the back of the head. And ragdoll here, maybe sway from side to side. Or rock. Just release the tension through the back of the legs. Turn the tailbones nice and high so you can take weight forward into the balls of your feet. So really feel a lovely stretch here, and then release your arms down onto the floor. Just circle the wrists in one direction and then the other. Lovely. And then soften the knees as you roll up the spine slowly to stand. Good. Inhale, take your arms up to the sky. Palms touch at the top. Exhale, forward fold. So folding from the hip crease. Bring the hands onto the shins. Halfway lift here. And exhale, release it back down. Step back with the right foot. Big step, lower the right knee down onto the floor. Untuck those back toes. Just lift the chest, look forward. Sink into the hips here and then raise the arms up into the sky, into your low lunge position. So tuck the tailbone and then sink into the hip. Relax the shoulders. Good, breathe in. Let's sink a little bit deeper as we breathe out. Good. And again, nice big deep breath in. Sink a little bit deeper as you breathe out. Release the hands down onto the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. So hips lift, heels go to the floor. Come forward to your plank position. Lower down knees, chin and chest. Elbows are nice and tight. Push through into your cobra, into your back bend position. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Step forward with the left foot. So big step. Bring the foot forward, drop the hips. Lift the chest, look forward. So feel the hip flexors stretch here. Then step the right foot to join with the left. So feet are at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Good, bring it up. So take the arms up to the ceiling as you inhale. And then into heart center. Good, inhale, arms reach up. Forward fold, folding from the hip crease. Halfway lift, lengthen. Good, fold down, step back, left foot. Big step, lower the knee down to the mat. Lift the chest, look forward. Just sink the hips a little here. Untuck those back toes. Raise the arms up into your low lunge. Hook the tailbone. And then sink a little bit deeper. Relax the shoulders. Breathe in. And out. Let's sink. And again, breathe in. Sink deeper. Good. And release. Hands down to the floor. Step back into down dog. Hips lift, heels to the mat, forward to plank. Lower through knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga if you're ready. Push through into your back bend. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Good, just take a breath or two here. Pushing those heels down, lifting your tailbone. Okay, let's lift the right leg into the air. Three-legged dog, lead with the heel, keeping the hips nice and square. Big step, bring that foot forward. Between the hands. So it's up to you whether you want to drop the back knee or keep it lifted. We're going to rise up into lunge. So high or low, your choice here. Let's just sink deep into this lunge position. Relax the shoulders. Good. Take a big deep breath in. And exhale, sink again. Let's twist open to the right side. So opening the chest up. Inhale, bring it back to center. Twist open to the left side. Good. Bring it back to center. Twist open to the right. Hold here. So opening the chest as much as we can, reaching back. Look towards the back fingers if the neck feels okay. And then cartwheel the left hand down to the floor so it's level with the front foot. And the right hand is reaching the sky. Remember, we can always have that back knee down on the floor if we need it. So we're in our high or low twisted lunge. Keep the hips nice and low so you feel the stretch through this buttock. Through the butt cheek. Good. Looking towards the top hand. Reach a little bit higher. Exhale, bring the hand down to the floor. Step back into our downward facing dog. Let's take a vinyasa here, which is optional. So come forward to plank, lower. Chaturanga on knees, chin and chest, pushing through to back bend. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Good. Just settle in. Big deep inhale. Big deep exhale. Remember about practicing mindfully, really checking with what your body needs today. Take the left leg up into the air. Let's do either side, three-legged dog. So flexing the foot, leading with the heel. Keep those hips square, and then a big step brings it forward between the hands. Hips are nice and low. There's the option to lower the back knee here if you wish. Arms come up into your lunge position. High or low, let's sink into those hips. Keep the torso nice and tall, length, nice long neck as well, reaching the fingers up but relaxing the shoulders, sink a little bit deeper. Okay, we're going to open into the twist, so inhale, twist open towards the left side, then bring it back to center. Good, open towards the right side. Bring it to center, open to the left and hold. So chest is fully open, look towards that back hand if you can. Reach back, sink deeper into the lunge, and then cartwheel that right hand down onto the floor. So the left hand reaches the sky, so it should be the twisted lunge. Back knee is up or down, remember your choice. Look up towards that top hand that's reaching towards the ceiling. If the back knee is lifted, let's straighten that back leg, make it super strong. Reach up, drop the hips a little more, feel that stretch. Exhale, hand down to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Hips go high, heels push down. Vinyasa, come forward to plank, lower. Chaturanga, inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk or step both of your feet all the way forward to the top edge of the mat. Bring the hands onto the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Raise up, inhale, arms to the sky. And bring them back into prayer at heart center. Lovely. Okay, so at the top of the mat, feet are together. Bring your hands into prayer at heart center. And then take the weight into your left foot, bring your right knee into your chest. So just bring that knee up, flexing the foot so the leg's nice and strong and engaged. Engage the tummy. Take a breath here. And then push the foot all the way back into your warrior three. Hold, keeping the hands in prayer, and then inhale, let's bring the knee back to center. Good, push it back. Warrior three. Focus on one point. Bring the knee back in front. Knee lift. Good. Push it back into your warrior three. Awesome. Bring it back to center. And then push it all the way back. We're going to step it towards the back of the mat. Step it all the way back. Good. Raise your arms up into the sky. High lunge position. Drop the heel. Open yourself up into warrior two. Look towards your left middle finger. Sink deep into this position. Push your knee towards your little toe. Good. Open the pelvis. Open up through the front of the body. Look towards your front middle finger. Sink even deeper if you can. And then reach forward. Flip the hand. Reverse. Reversing warrior. Bringing the hand either to the back leg or wrap it behind to bind in. Reach up. Reach it back. Bend deeper into that front knee. Let's keep sinking into our lunge position. Cartwheel the left hand down inside the foot. Take the right hand to the sky. If that's too much, we can always just bring the elbow to the knee. Half or full bind if you wish to go deeper. So that top hand can just hook in and grab a little bit of thigh. Or you can go for the full version. Whichever one, remember, practice mindfully. See what feels good today. And just find the breath. Breathing in, deep inhales. And exhale it away. You might be able to sink a little deeper as you exhale or find a bit more space in your posture. Move into it as you exhale. Lovely. Look down towards your toes. Take an inhale, raise the arms up, back into warrior two position. Raise that right arm forward, lift the back heel. Coming back through your high lunge, exhale, hands to the floor. Step back, plank. Lower through, chaturanga. Push through into your back bend. Nice. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Walking or stepping your feet forward or jumping. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Raise your arms to the sky. Reach them up. Bring them into prayer at heart center. Good work, guys. Let's do the other side. So weight into the right foot. Bring the left knee to your chest. Flex the foot, so keep this leg nice and strong. Keep the chest lifted and try and find a spot in front of you to focus on. So push the foot back. Warrior three. Bring the knee back in front. Push it back. Warrior three. And lift the knee. Good. Again, push back. Bring the knee forward. Then push it all the way back. Step it back. This time, raise your arms up. High lunge position. Sink into your lunge. Pop the back heel on the diagonal. Turn open into warrior two. Look towards your front middle finger. So we should be looking towards right middle finger. Pushing that front knee towards our little toe, opening up through the pelvis. Sink it deep. Each inhale, we grow taller through the spine. As we exhale, we sink even deeper. Push down strongly through the outside edge of that back foot. Go deeper still. Reach forward, flip and reverse. Reverse warrior. That back hand can tickle the back leg or wrap it behind you, whatever feels good. Just breathe into this right rib, the right side of your ribs. Really fill them up with breath. And then right fingertips come down to the inside of the foot. The left arm reaches the sky. Maybe the elbow comes to the knee. Or half or full bind if we want to take it deeper. But keep pushing this front knee forward. Trying to get the knee over the ankle and the front thigh parallel to the mat. So choose your posture. I'm doing quite a lot of modifications today because my back's hurting. So I'm being mindful of that. So you take yours to wherever you want to today. It's up to you, it's your practice. Another breath here. Look down towards your toes. Inhale up into warrior two. Raise back up into high lunge. So lift the back heel. Sink into the lunge, facing the front edge of your mat. Bring the hands down, frame your front foot. Step back, plank and vinyasa. So lowering slowly, chaturanga. Inhaling. Upward facing dog. Good. Exhaling into downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here, or you can drop your knees down to the floor. Take a child's pose if you prefer. Maybe take a drink on if you need one. You need a sip of your tea or coffee. Help yourself. Good. Just taking a few breaths. Down dog or child's pose. And then we're coming down to lay down onto our tummies. So bring yourself to lie down, untuck the toes, have a gap between the feet. If your lower back isn't great, then take the arms back down by the sides. Palms are facing in towards the legs. So push down through the top of the feet. Just look down to your mat. And then as you inhale, start lifting the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting the arms. So the feet are down, the legs are active, so kneecaps are off, thighs are engaged. Engage the tummy to help to protect the lower back, and then reach back. Look forward, breathe in, exhale, lower down. Good, inhale, lift up, squeeze and lift. If you want to, you can then start raising the feet off the floor as well. So lift up, squeeze the shoulder blades, reach it back. Exhale, lower it down. And then for the final stage of this one, if you want to interlace your hands behind your back, making a yoga lock, we can do that. And then lift up, lift the legs, point the toes, lift the chest, look forward, engage the tummy, lift the arms a little bit higher, keep squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting, breathing, keeping the core nice and strong, and exhale, slowly lower. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, move your hips from side to side, and then push up onto hands and knees. Bring the knees directly so that they're underneath our shoulders. Back into your tabletop, nice and strong box shape. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees up here, just hover, push the floor away, and then just lower the knees back down. So we're going to do a little Superman variation. So check that your hands are underneath your shoulders and knees are underneath our hips. So we're going to lift up to hover. Then we're going to extend the right arm forward and then see if we can take the left leg back and hold. And then bring it back down. Just drop your knees down for a second. Good. Well, I can't see if you did it or not, but good if you did, or good if you tried. Well done. Okay, so lift the knees off to hover. Reach the left arm forward. Then let's see if we can take the right leg back. So we're still hovering and hold and release it back down. Come back to tabletop. Awesome, tuck the toes. Let's push you up and back into your downward facing dog. Settle in here. Exhale, heels to the floor. Take the right leg into the air. Three-legged dog, bend the knee, open up the hip. Trying to get your heel towards your opposite buttock. The knee is the highest part of this posture. Push down strongly through both of your hands. Have a little peek underneath your left armpit. You might be able to see that foot dropping down behind you. And then step the right foot all the way between the hands. Back heel on the diagonal, warrior one. So lifting up, keeping the shoulders, the hips facing forward, bend deep into the front knee. Push down strongly through the outside edge of that back foot. If you need to take the feet wider here, please do so. Take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, bow down into humble warrior. So the chest coming down on the inside of that front knee. The shoulder either on the knee or inside the knee, it's your choice. Let the head go heavy, the arms come up. The head is reaching down to the floor inside that foot. Take a big deep breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, let's go deeper if we can. Inhale, come all the way back up, raise your arms to the sky. Exhale, warrior two. Readjust the feet if necessary and sink deep into your warrior two. Flip the front palm over, reverse. And then cartwheel the hand down to the inside of the foot. Good, so hand onto the inside of the foot, or maybe elbow to knee. We're going to just straighten that leg to bring ourselves into our triangle posture. So straighten, and then just bend back into it. Let's straighten again, so you can go a little bit deeper. And bend again. Keep pushing the left shoulder back. Straighten one more time. Good, and then bring that left hand down towards the center so you can come into your wide leg stance. Hands are underneath our shoulders. Push your heels out. Lift the chest, lengthen here. And then fold. Walk your hands back so they're level with the feet, or take them off the back of the mat. It's up to you. Take your weight forward into the front of the feet so the tailbone lifts even higher. So whatever variation of this wide leg forward fold you need today, find the breath. Work into it, go a little bit deeper if you can. Really lift your bottom up. Feel that lovely stretch through the back of the legs. And then slowly release, bring it back to center. Walk yourself back around towards your right foot. So we're lunging at the top of the mat, and then step back into your plank. Take your vinyasa from here. So lower down, chaturanga. Inhaling into your back bend. Exhaling into downward facing dog. You've got 3 to 5 breaths here just to reconnect with the breath and check in with yourself. All right, we'll do exactly the same thing on the other side. So from downward facing dog, push down strongly through those hands. Make sure that the fingers are spread nice and wide. Take the left leg up into the air, bend the knee, open the hip. So the foot is flexed, the heel is coming to the opposite butt cheek. Try and drive your right heel down to the floor. And maybe sneak a peek underneath your right armpit and see if that foot drops down behind you. Good, keep the hip nice and open. Then a big step, bring it forward between the hands. The back heel goes on the diagonal. Warrior one, arms come up, hips and shoulders are forward. Bend deep into that front knee. Keep the shoulders relaxed. The feet can go wider if we need to. Take the hands behind the back. Interlace fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, bow your chest down into humble warrior. Chest comes onto, so you can bring your shoulder onto the knee or inside the knee, up to you, but don't allow your left hip to stick out. Keep it into the center of the mat. As you bow your head down to the floor, arms are coming up and over. Push down strongly through the outside edge of that back foot. Good, inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, take it that little bit deeper if we can. And then inhale, let's raise it all the way up, arms to the sky. Exhale, warrior two, open. Readjust the feet if necessary. Look towards front middle finger, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, and then cartwheel the hand down to the inside of the foot. The right hand goes to the sky. Elbow to knee is an option here. We're doing those 3 straightens. So try and keep pushing back through this shoulder blade. So you don't want the chest to fold forward or fall over. So straighten the leg. Feel that stretch, push back through the right shoulder, and then bend deep into the leg again. And then straighten. Good, and bend. And one more, straighten that leg. Feel that lovely stretch, push back with the right shoulder a little more. And then release your hands down, forward, towards the side edge of your mat. Push your heels out. So we're in a nice wide leg stance. Keep your feet as they are. Reach your arms forward to bring yourself into a wide leg down dog. And then bring the chest, the head down to the floor. And feel that stretch. Really turn your tailbone as high as you can here. Excuse me. Take a breath. Take the chest down a little bit deeper perhaps. And then walk your hands back so they're underneath you. My head's gone really red. All right, we're going to walk our hands towards our left foot. Just bring the heel of that left foot in and bend into it so we can pull the right toes up to take that stretch. Hands can just be on the floor in front. So try and keep this heel grounded and then raise the toes on the other side. Maybe your hands can come into prayer. Take a breath, feel that lovely stretch coming down the inner thigh here. And then release. Let's take it over to the side. So turning the toes out, sinking down and raising the left toes up towards the ceiling. The hands can stay on the floor. So it's quite intense down the back of the Achilles here to push that heel down. And then the hands can come to prayer. So if we need the heel lifted, then that's fine. See how it feels for you on this side. And then hands maybe come to prayer at heart center. It's not as easy on this side for me. Take a breath here. And then let's take it back over to the other side. All right, back over to this side. And then any variations you want to. So we can split the arms. So using the arm against the leg to push the knee wider. You can take the bind. So binding behind the back. Or the hands might just want to stay on the floor or hands in prayer. We're just getting that stretch coming down the inside of that leg. Hold for a moment. Then bring your hands to prayer. Let's see if you can go over to the other side, keeping the hands off the floor. And again, whatever variation you want to work with here. So splitting the arms, using your right arm to push the knee out, or maybe binding behind the back, or prayer, or hands to floor. Pull those toes up so you feel the stretch here. Push your heel down if you can. Mine doesn't seem to like it too much on this side. And then bring it back into the center position. All right, let's just wiggle the hips from side to side, keeping the hands on the floor. One side to the other. Shorten the stance slightly. Turn the feet out into 10 to 2. Drop the bottom down. So drop the bottom down and then raise up into your goddess. So the knees are going in the same direction as the toes. The arms are coming up into a little goalpost, and then just tuck the tailbone under. So we don't want the bum to stick out. Tuck the tailbone under, push the shoulders back, and then take a few little bounces here. Sink it down, go a little bit deeper, sink, and then reach up. Straighten the legs, reach up. Exhale, sink down. Hold here, lifting your left heel off the floor. And release, then your right. Release, both heels lift. And release, hands to the floor, lift your hips. Have a little wiggle. Walk yourself back towards the top edge of your mat. So we're into our lunge position. Sink into the lunge. Step back, plank, and take the vinyasa from here. Lower through your chaturanga. Inhale into your back bend. Knees drop down and sit back into your child's pose. Awesome. Well done. We're just going to do a little hip opener. We'll take pigeon on both sides. And then an inversion. We're running out of time this morning. Maybe I'm getting a little bit carried away. Okay, so coming forward into tabletop and then into downward facing dog. We're going to work with the right leg to begin with. So lift the right leg up into the air. Bend the knee, open the hip. Maybe do a few little hip circles. Just rotating the knee in one direction and the other. And then bring that knee behind the wrist. Lay the leg across the top edge of the mat and extend that left leg out behind you, okay? You can get hold of the foot and pull the leg further up, but just make sure that the hips are going central. If you need to pop something underneath your thigh, your hip area on this side, we can do that. Maybe a rolled up blanket or a cushion or something. And then inhale, lift the chest. Take the hands towards the top edge of the mat. Lift the chest, push it forward. Exhale, just bow your chest down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, bow the chest down. Good, last one, lift the chest here. And then exhale, bow the chest down. And stay down on forearms or lay down completely, whichever feels better. You can always stay with the hands under the shoulders and stay lifted if you prefer. Just to feel that optimal stretch for your hip. It always feels, I find it feels so much tighter on a morning. And especially when we're not in the hot studio. So I have got to remind myself that I'm not going to go as deep in postures when I'm not in a heated room. So always just be mindful and go as far as you need to this morning. Keep the upper body as relaxed as we can, so shoulders, neck free of tension, the head is just relaxed as well. Take another breath here. If you are folded forward, if you want to bring yourself back up onto your hands, just everybody lift the chest, look forward. Now push your hips down into the floor, push your hips down. Just get an extra little bit into that stretch. Tuck the back toe under so we can raise up and lift back into our downward facing dog. Just wiggle out the hips. Good, release off the knee, the hip area here. Do your little dance. And let's take it to the other side. So raising the left leg into the air, bend the knee and open the hip. Circle that knee in whichever direction you wish, but then change it as well. So we go both ways. And okay, let's bring it forward behind the wrist. Lay the leg across the top edge of the mat, then slide that right leg back down the center of the mat, untuck the back toes. Just check it's going down the center of the mat behind you. This foot might come further up. See how it feels, especially on the knee area. And then keeping the hands up towards the top edge of the mat. As you inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, just bow the chest down. Inhale, roll the chest back up. Exhale, bow it down. Inhale, roll it up. And then exhale, take it down to wherever you want to, whether it's forearms or lay down completely. And then your breaths here and pigeon on this side. Remember to find that stretch. Breathe into it. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Awesome. Lovely. Another couple of breaths. Bring your hands back so they're underneath the shoulders. And then just push both hips down to the floor. Push them down so you can really intensify that stretch. A little bit extra there. Awesome. And then tuck the back toe under. Take it back into your downward facing dog. Pedal the legs. Release off that tension. Then just drop the knees down onto the floor. Take some circles here. So rolling the hips forward and back. And then the other way as well. Lovely. And then just drop your bottom back onto your heels and come into a kneeling position. Okay, so it is 22. I've run over a little bit, so I do apologise if anybody has to be anywhere. We're just going to finish off doing a headstand or headstand prep. So it's up to you whether you want to actually go up into headstand or not. Or you can do any other variation of, any other inversion of choice. If you want to lay on your back, put your legs in the air, do a shoulder stand, handstand, please feel free. Do whatever you wish. For our headstand, we're going to bring the elbows down to the floor, shoulder distance apart, interlace the fingers, make that nest for our head, cradle the back of the head, and then push down with the elbows. Let's activate our shoulders, tuck the toes, lift the hips, walk your feet towards your head. Keep pushing the elbows into the floor. This is as far as you need to go. We don't need to go into a headstand. Just keep pushing your elbows down so that the shoulders are active and the hips are in the air, and we are activating our crown chakra. That's as high as you need to go. If you want to go higher, please feel free. When you feel you need to come down, just drop your knees down and come back down to the mat. You can have a couple of goes at that. If we're not going up into full headstand, if you are going to full headstand, go for it. Try different shapes. Just be mindful of your neck, your back. Keep pushing through the elbows to use these shoulders. We've got strong shoulders, let's use them. And then when we're finished with whatever variation of headstand we are taking, just bring it down and take a child's pose. So sink your bottom to your heels, just bring the forehead to the floor, just rest the hands, let the elbows go down, and just check in with the neck, the head, the lower back. Push your bottom all the way back to your heels. Big deep inhale. And exhale it away. Lovely. Just do a quick scan of the body here. Noticing how we're feeling. And then slowly coming back up into a seated position. So rather than finish with our Shavasana today, I'm just going to finish with a breath exercise. If you want to come into an easy cross leg position, you could stay in child's pose if you prefer. You could do this laying on your back if you want to. So when I say other practice, if you want to stay in your Shavasana, please feel free to. Just come into seated, rest your hands on your knees, thumb and forefinger come together to touch. So sit with a nice tall spine, relax shoulders. Take a nice big deep inhale. And then exhale out completely. And then we're going to breathe in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the top. Hold the breath. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the bottom. And inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the top. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the bottom. And exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the top. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the bottom. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the top. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath at the bottom. Last round. Inhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold the breath at the top. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold the breath at the bottom. Now hold the breath for as long as you can. Then see if you can push a little bit more breath out. Another exhale. Exhale for as long as you can. And then when you need to, let the breath flood the body. So let your breath just flood the body and find its own rhythm again. So we're not forcing the breath anymore. Just allow it to flow as it needs to. Maybe closing down the eyes and just feeling that energy moving in and around the body. The energy that you've created, strengthening of the lungs, controlling the breath. Just feel your body's rhythm and vibration as you sit. Bring your hands into prayer at heart center. Remember your focus, your intention for practice today. I thank you all for joining me on your mats and allowing me to guide you this morning through your practice. Namaste. If you feel the need for a Shavasana, please feel free.